Hey everyone, Dr. Misty here. Thanks so much for joining me today on Wellness Wednesday, your weekly health information and motivation. And so today I really want to share with you some of the effects specific medications have on your mitochondrial health. So if you are joining in today, I'm going to share some great information with you on how and what can be affecting your mitochondria. Now, if you're sitting there saying, what the heck is a mitochondria? You are probably not alone. But knowing that this page is mostly about treating either chronic fatigue or burnout and trauma, how they all link together. One of the things specifically for chronic fatigue is to understand your mitochondrial health and what affects it, and understand that the mitochondria are actually your cellular powerhouse of energy. Okay, so I'm going to actually quickly share my screen. Okay, so I just want to give you some visuals here while I'm going through this with you. All right, and if this resonates and this is helpful for you, please click that love button or give me a thumbs up and share with your friends. This is so powerful because this is not addressed in the medical model, okay? And it's important that you understand that, because we're not talking about a disease process, we're talking about a cellular dysfunction, okay? So the medical is reactive to disease and management. And so you're gonna see that if you are somebody who has a bunch of diseases already, or you get chronic pain, there are gonna be things that lead up to mitochondrial dysfunction, and that can lead to a lot of your symptoms, and and this is why it's not being addressed. Okay, so it's important that this message and this information does get out there. I appreciate the shares, because a lot of people need this knowledge. There's so many people, I see this every single day, people who are just so frustrated because they've been to multiple specialists, they've been to multiple physicians, and they can't get the answers they're looking for. And it's because they're not getting the digging enough into the actual cellular dysfunctions and the underlying biochemistry of what's going on with their body. They don't necessarily have a disease, they have a dysfunction. Okay, so important. Now, when we're looking here, the mitochondria is a portion, it's called an organelle, it's a portion of our cells. Okay, so our cells, we have eukaryotic cells, going back to high school biology, and we have all these different organelles in our body. Okay, and so what this bad boy right here is the mitochondria. Okay, and this is considered the powerhouse of the cell. So the mitochondria's job is to produce energy. Okay, now the mitochondria, where do we have mitochondria? Pretty much most of our cells, except for our red blood cells. Now, mitochondria is typically found in higher amounts in the brain, in the liver, and in the muscle tissue in the heart. Okay, why? Because those are the places that really, it's important, the brain and the heart especially, keeping us alive, right? It's so needed, that our brain needs this energy and needs that conversion of ATP. So it takes energy from different sources of macronutrients, whether it be a carbohydrate, a protein, or a fat, and it shuttles it down specific biochemical pathways in order to produce ATP, which is a form of energy. And that energy conversion gets shunted into a different biochemical pathway, and eventually, after many conversions, leads to water, and even expiration, oxygen. So it's important. This is a very important topic. So here are a list of medications that, if you are taking these, they will disrupt your mitochondrial health. So if you are somebody who consistently takes acetaminophen, which is Tylenol, okay, if you are chronically on Tylenol, not only are you affecting and disrupting your ability to convert energy, you're actually creating more damage to your mitochondria, specifically in your liver. This is where liver toxicity comes into play if you have acetaminophen overdose. There's so much damage to the mitochondria. The other thing is when you take acetaminophen, just a side note, you're depleting a day's worth of glutathione, which is our body's main antioxidant, and it allows us to detoxify properly. So that's really, really important. So taking acetaminophen on a regular basis, A, you probably have high levels of inflammation in your body, and B, disrupts the mitochondria. Okay. Second would be an antidepressant. Okay, especially tricyclic antidepressants. Now, if you are somebody who has, this is the caveat and this is the killer, if you are going to your doctor and you're saying, hey, I have chronic fatigue, like I can't, and they've run all their tests, they've run vitamin D, they've run mono, they've run Lyme, they've run anemia, they've whatever, everything checks out fine, right? Typically, here's what they're going to tell you to do. They're going to tell you to get more rest. They're going to tell you to exercise. They're going to tell you to go to PT, and they're going to put you on antidepressants. Okay, which is like counterintuitive to chronic fatigue. This would actually amplify the symptoms. So it's really, really important for you guys to understand that that can be disruptive and damaging to your mitochondria. Now, I want to make clear also that in no way am I telling you in this video, and I don't have the authority to do that, nor would I want to do that, is tell somebody to stop taking medications. My thoughts for you would be to create awareness on what are you consistently taking into your body and how it's affecting your health. And you make the decision with your prescriber that, okay, this is something that I don't want, and this is affecting me, and I want to try and come off these and try and get another, work on this in different ways, okay? So I can't tell you to come off these medications, but I do want to help you understand how the impact of them are on your health, okay? Typically with antidepressants, SSRIs aren't as disruptive aren't as disruptive to mitochondria. It's more of the tricyclic antidepressants, okay? Another one that is big with mitochondria and chronic pain is statin drugs. Okay, so statins, this is becoming more and more, the awareness on this is becoming more and more common, which is great, but statin drugs can really amp up mitochondrial dysfunction, as well as if you started getting more chronic pain after taking a statin, you definitely want to address that with your physician because that's a side effect, okay? Other drugs that will cause mitochondrial dysfunction, antivirals. So one of the mitochondrial jobs also is to create energy to fight viruses and infections. So if you are somebody who has a heavy viral load, which means that you have a high level of viruses in your body and they're not being fought enough, that can disrupt it, as well as antivirals, because you're using that energy and it can create cellular damage, especially when as you're killing the viruses, the creation of free radicals that your body has to shunt the energy and clean up, that can create cellular damage as well as mitochondrial damage, okay? Same thing with antibiotics. And antibiotics have a slew of other side effects, but antibiotics can create a similar type of thing, specifically even in the GI tract and cellular damage, but mitochondrial damage as well. And the last one, and the bigger one, but probably less common, is chemotherapy, which is obvious. That is somewhat a given, because as you're going through chemotherapy, you're getting so much. There's a lot of toxicity that comes on with using specific the drug chemicals. But really, I wanted you to understand that if you are on, or if you've been somebody who has just went through chemo, or you're having like severe chronic fatigue and you had or just been on these drugs, somebody who has had a long history of even Lyme disease. So if you have Lyme disease and your body is on, typically patients do long-term antibiotics, whether it be oral or IV. There is a lot of free radical damage from the toxins and free radicals that are given off from killing the actual viruses, but at the same time, it's the heavy amount of antibiotic use is just, you're getting so much cellular destruction that this is not allowing your body to have proper mitochondrial function. You're feeling that exhaustion all the time. And that means that your body is not getting enough mitochondrial support, and you're not getting the energy need that you need. That's a piece of the issue. So I'm going to stop sharing now. Okay. So I hope that's valuable for you guys, and just know that, again, if you are taking medications prolonged, that, you know, medication does have its place. It really does. The medical model is there for a reason. It's there for, you know, acute issues. With acute issues, with acute infections, with things that the body is having difficulty handling and that are creating a lot of problems, fractures, things like that. Like, you know, our bodies, you might need that extra support to get through the day, or you might need, and it's not to, you know, just know that. So if you are hearing this and you're saying, oh shoot, I take those every day, oh my God, I'm screwed, you know, I don't, it's okay. Okay, it's okay. But informational purpose, you might want to consider different choices. Okay, because at the end of the day, our bodies function differently. They really are meant to heal if we remove enough of the interference. Okay, and these are things chronically, they're not meant to be taken chronically. You know, if you have a bad infection and you have, you know, an infection in your spine or whatever, heck yeah, I'm going to tell you to go take antibiotics. Like, that's not something you want to mess around with. That's very dangerous, you know, or your infection in your heart or whatever. Those things, like, there are times and place absolutely for the medical. What I'm saying is that if you're having a chronic issue and you're getting this response from your physician, I would encourage you to use this information to your benefit and say, okay, what am I doing that's chronically causing issues, and what am I putting in my body on a daily basis that could be disrupting the way my body functions, right? So all of us, we have so many cells in our body. What causes disease is cellular disruption over a period of time that creates cellular damage, that creates organ damage, that creates disease. Okay, so it's important for you to understand that part, because it does come, chronic disease does not happen overnight. It happens over years and years and years and years and years. So if you want to help yourself and back up from that, and just really evaluate your situation and how you're managing it, please use this information to your benefit. If you find that you need a little extra help, I do offer virtual health consultations and discovery calls for free. I'm happy to help you out with that and see if this is, you know, functional medicine is a helpful route for you. That's what functional medicine is. It's a different model of medicine. Functional medicine is, you know, the medical model. It's a different paradigm. The medical model operates out of sick and healthy. Functional medicine operates on healthy, sick, and then like a whole slew of dysfunction in between. And it just, the thought processes are really different and really more powerful and beneficial when you're dealing with chronic illness. So thanks so much again for watching Wellness Wednesday. I'm Dr. Misty Kosciuszko. And again, if you found that valuable, please comment below, give me a thumbs up, and share with your friends. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.